What's going on, everybody? Last week I sold over 5,000 cards, everything from base rookies to case hits and super short prints and everything in between. And I've got more to do this week, and so I'm going to walk you through how to do that with your stuff. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a long time. I think probably been at least a month since I posted my last video. I got pretty sick for a couple weeks there, and just recovering from that. There wasn't really any product that I wanted to rip, and honestly, I spent the last week organizing and sorting all of my cards because I sold all of them. If you've been around my channel at all, you've seen I rip a lot. I've ripped a lot of cases over the past year, spent thousands of dollars, sold a lot of the bigger cards. I usually do a card show once a month, if not once every 2 months. So in the past year and a half or so since I got back into the hobby, I've probably done like 12 shows. So I sell a lot of cards there kind of to fund the next purchase. And that ended up leaving me with just boxes and boxes full of like low value cards, like cards that sell on eBay for $1, but there's 1,000 of them listed, so yours is never going to sell. And so I put them into boxes and would haul them around to card shows, and they would never sell there either, because who's going to buy, you know, like a Sam Laporta base rookie unless you find a big Lions collector? Well, I'm down in Tennessee, so that's me here. There aren't many of those here though, and if there are, they probably already have that card. So just tons of cards that are almost impossible to sell. I was at a show last Saturday, so this was a week or 9 days ago, and had a lot of high value stuff, most of like the optic case hits and cards that I was kind of holding on to grade, and I just decided I would rather sell them than, you know, send them off to grade and have to wait 4 months for them to come back. And, you know, spend all the time to, you know, look over the cards and do all that was just more time than I really wanted to invest. I just decided I was going to basically hit the reset button and kind of sell everything except for a few cards I really wanted to hold on for the PC and a couple complete sets. So I took all the boxes. I think I had like 10 or 12 boxes there, and had some people, you know, comb through, pull out some of their favorite player and buy some of those. Sold a lot of the big cards, and it was about an hour left in the show. I had a guy come up to my table, and he bought, I think, 3 cards I had on the table and a handful of like the rookie QBs that I had in the box that were like, you know, $2 to $5 cards each. He spent a couple $100, and he was like, man, I wish I'd come to your table first. I would have bought your whole table. And I said, you're kidding. He's like, no. He said, seriously. So I gave him my number. Turns out his name is exactly the same as my name with 1 letter different. So I was like, what are the odds of that this guy comes up to my table and wants to buy all my cards, and he basically has my name. So I guess that's the first thing to how to move all your base cards. You got to get lucky. You got to find somebody who wants them and has the ability to make a little money off of them themselves. And this guy, he does Whatnot live streaming. He does show Monday through Friday every day. Usually he's running like 400 or 500 cards a day. So he obviously needed a lot of inventory, and I had a lot of that inventory. A lot of times he'll take like I said, like Laporta or Gibbs or, you know, guys like that, all rookie cards. He'll take 3 or 4 base rookie cards and he'll sell them for like $6. So he's not making a ton, but when he's doing so much volume every day, that really adds up. But that also means he needs supplier. And so I basically became his supplier last week for the next couple weeks worth of shows. I sold him 2 full boxes of football on Wednesday, and then I sold him 2 full boxes of basketball. Now the cards I'm selling him are everything from like base rookies, like the top chase rookies, like last year was like, you know, Stroud, Anthony Richardson, Gibbs, Laporta, like all guys that people are gonna know. And obviously this year, like all the QBs, all the receivers, there's Bowers, baseball, same kind of thing. Like last year it's Skeens, the Jacksons, Ellie, like any base rookie of like a big name. And then for like vets, it's any parallel, any insert, like he wanted all that stuff. So I think the football on Wednesday was like 15 or 1600 cards. The basketball on Thursday was like over 2,000 cards. And then I found more football that I gave him on Saturday, like another 1,500 cards. And that was mostly all like the low value stuff. And there was a few, $5 to $25 cards in there. And I'm gonna kind of go through these boxes in a later step to explain like how to do that. But step one is get lucky, and I got very lucky. It also really helped that he was local to me, so we didn't have to worry about shipping. He was about 30 minutes from me, so I just drove the boxes over to his place, and he paid me, and off we went. It was a really easy, smooth transaction. You may not be able to find something like that local, but there are like Facebook, Twitter communities where people are posting that they're buying all the time, and my guess is they're probably doing the same kind of thing. Also, once I run out of inventory, this guy's going to need more. So if you have what I'm going to show you, feel free to reach out, and I can connect you with him and help you move your stuff and help him get inventory. It's hopefully it's going to be a long, beneficial relationship for both of us, even when I run out of stuff to supply him. Right now, I'm sitting here sorting all my basketball cards, and this is just insane how many of these I ended up with in boxes. These boxes hold about 1,000 cards, I want to say, maybe 1,200 when they're sleeved and some top loaded, and I'm probably going to fill about 3 of them with vet color rookies, numbered cards, autos, patches, whatever. So I was at a card show just a week ago, and I ran into a guy that does live streams on Whatnot, and he came to my table about, I guess the show was probably almost over. He came to my table and was like, man, I wish I would have come to your table first, because the second tip is just have a lot of inventory. You don't have to have like 1,000 cards. If you have like 50 or 100 cards, that's fine too. They would probably buy that. It's helpful to have a good mix of what I would call like dollar cards, but you're probably going to sell them at like 2 or 3 for $1. And then also stuff that's like $5 and up. Have a good mix of all that. That way they're not just buying all low stuff. They're going to get some higher value stuff that they can mix into their stream. What this guy wants is like base rookies. So like, let's pull this out. So this is like the 4th box of football. So a lot of this isn't like the top stuff anymore, but it's like even stuff like select inserts, like Puka, Rashee Rice, Laporta. Like these are all like the top guys, like CJ Stroud, Bijan, like all those guys. So I just have all those select because I pulled those out of a box. This is some of the Lions stuff. Have all that. Then like I ripped a lot of Donruss this year, so I just had tons of these inserts, QBs, receivers, the superstars like Lamar Jackson. Like if it's like an insert, but it's like a quote unquote like a shiny one that flashes and looks cool in a live stream, that's stuff people will want to buy, and that's what these Whatnot guys are going to want. So you also don't have to have a ton of inventory, right? Like this is another 1,200 cards. I call these like select, like they love these things. Like you can probably get $1 or $2 for each one of those. But this is the kind of stuff they like. Baseball, like same thing. It's going to be, like I said before, top rookies, superstar inserts, parallels, short prints, patches always do really well. Obviously autographs, numbered cards, case hits, like they'll buy all that stuff. And you don't have to have 1,000 cards. Like if you have like 50 or 100 cards and it's like these low value ones, that's fine too. But they are going to want at some point, like these are like not even like I said, this is the 4th football box. So a lot of the best stuff is gone at this point, but like they're going to want some of these like short prints, like rookie silvers, like things like that. And then like autos, like even like autos of like lower name guys, because a lot of times people come in and request a certain team. So if someone's like, hey, I'm a Bengals fan, he's like, well, I got this Chase Brown autograph, and you might get $2 or $3 for it, and I got $1 for it because I just wanted to sell it. Third tip is just get organized. I've mentioned before that I've done like a dozen card shows, and it seemed like after every show I kind of changed how I had stuff organized, and finally got to a point where I really liked how I had it. And I'll go through the boxes and show you that. Other people really appreciated how I had it too, because like it shows I would get compliments all the time. Oh, I can't believe how organized you are. This is really awesome. I can find the favorite player I want, or I can find the team that I collect. And so let's go through the boxes and I'll kind of show you how I do that. So this is a good example of how I'd have my boxes organized for my card show. Obviously I told you I've already sold them football and most of the basketball stuff too, but I have the baseball left. So like you can look through the names here and you can kind of see it's like the superstars, rookie cards, and just all the names that, you know, most people are gonna know, even if they don't necessarily collect them. You know, everybody knows who Ohtani is. Everybody's heard of Jackson Holiday, one of the top rookies. Jackson Churio, Jackson Merrill, Bobby Witt Jr., like Acuna, like all that makes it super easy for someone who's gonna buy in bulk from you to know that they're getting good stuff. Over here, I've got, you know, this is kind of the leftover sorted by team. So like Najee Harris, Hines Ward, George Pickens, like guys like that. Like people might want these cards, but like a whatnot seller, they may just sit in their box. So they are less likely to buy these. So these I'm probably gonna end up taking to like trade show nights and just try to sell them for like 50 cents a piece or something. But this is all like parallels, inserts, rookie cards, stuff like that. So that's not really what I'm selling, but like this stuff, having it organized makes it so much easier for them to look at this and be like, okay, I can look through here and let me look at these Camaneros and see what they got here. And okay, you got Chrome rookies, some inserts, some Bowman's rookies, some Chrome parallels. So he goes through and he's like, okay, these are good value things. Like I want this box. And then another thing that I did to help him out, he was really concerned about the number of cards. So this is what I have together, and I know there's a lot of scratching off here because I kept finding more stuff. This is what I have for that football box over there. I basically went through and I counted up all the cards that I would consider like dollar cards and gave them a total count. Then I had like how many patches there are, how many silver rookie variations, how many $2 cards, $5, $10, $15 cards, numbered cards, autos, and I put values with all those, and then I had the total number of cards and then the total value of what I thought. And then from there, you know, we work out a number that's probably, you know, 70 to 75% of that number, just because he's buying so many. But we'll talk about that later. So having stuff like this, like stats sorted, that made such a smooth, easy transaction. If you just have a box and it's just full of cards that are sleeved and, you know, no idea what's in there, they probably aren't going to buy that, because they'd have to go through like and figure out like, okay, how many of these cards do I actually think can sell? If it's full of good stuff and they just grab a couple random stacks and look through it, maybe yes, but if you have other stuff mixed in, then you're not really giving them a good deal. And that's really important, I think, to maintain that good relationship in case you ever want to sell to them again. Tip number 4 is just maximize the value of what you actually have. Go back through some old boxes. You may be surprised at what rookies you have out in there that you might have thought were not worth anything at the time, but maybe they're worth something more. Or maybe you have like some nearly completed sets that even if you finish the set, it's not going to be worth that much, but you could go through and you could pull out each rookie. So I'm going to show you a couple of things of what I found. So last year I ripped a lot of select football and put together several of these, just the concourse level sets, because that's what you mostly got in the boxes. You got some die cuts, you got some inserts, a couple of the premier level, and maybe 1 or 2 of the club level. I can't remember, but most of the box was just these base concourse. And there were so many good rookies last year. I tried selling like just the 100 card concourse set on eBay, and if you could get $10, you'd be lucky. But if you count these, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 rookies, including CJ Stroud. So this stack right here, I was able to get $14 for, whereas I couldn't sell the entire set for 10. So stuff like that, like sometimes it makes more sense just to break up the set, pull out the good rookies, and then donate the rest of it. Same with 2024 Bowman last year. The base paper set, I guess you could say. You get a ton of that in those boxes. I went through and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Found 10 Pete Crow Armstrong rookies. These sell for like $1.50 a piece, so I got $1 per card. And same thing, like there's a lot more rookies in this set. There's LE, the Jacksons. I don't remember all who, but same thing. Like couldn't sell the whole 100 card paper set for
$10, pull out all the rookies, and you got like 10 or 12 rookies right there, and then do whatever with the rest, not have to deal with shipping or trying to sell dollar cards at a time, just able to lot them all together. Here's 10 rookies, $10. Super easy.
So the last thing I'll say is just be realistic with your expectations and be reasonable with the value you're going to be able to get out of your cards. If someone's going to buy 1,000 cards from you, be willing to cut them a nice deal. Yeah, a lot of the cards that are worth 5 and up, sure, you could sell them on eBay, but then you would still be stuck with all your lower value cards that are never going to sell on eBay. Like a lot of these cards sell for $1 on eBay plus shipping, but you go to list one and there's like 1,000 other listings of the same card because there's so many. And what are the odds that yours actually sells? And even if it does sell for $1, by the time eBay takes their 30-cent listing fee and then the commission charge, which ends up being like 15%, you pay for the team bag and the envelope to ship it in. It all adds up, and you're gonna get probably like 30 to 40 cents per card. So why wouldn't you just sell them in bulk, not have to worry about shipping, not worry about having to spend all that time making listings, and just get what you can?
So again, I'll reference my little note sheet here. So in this football box here, there's 1,060 cards that I say are dollar cards. So that's like what it would sell for on eBay. If I sold every single one of those cards, do you know how long that would take me to make about $300 or $400 maybe after supplies and fees and all that? Or I could just say, here's 1,000 cards, I'll take $400 for them and be done in 5 seconds. If I have a connection with somebody. These other ones, some of these, like the very liquid cards, like the ones that are like $5 and up, usually I'll do about like 75% on those. So like the $10 cards, I only have 4 of them this time because, like I said, I've sold them like 3 boxes of football already. So $40, then I'll take 75%, and so I'll mark that down to 30. But usually I'll just do that kind of on the overall price, and kind of factoring in like how many of the total cards are the dollar cards is kind of how I'll figure out like a good percentage to take off of that. So I have 1,234 cards for a total value of $1,453. I'll probably end up taking like 1,100 for this, or maybe even 1,000, just because he's bought so much off of me and I want to give him a good deal. And then all he has to do is sell those cards, and if some of them sell for $1 or $2, and then he's got the higher value cards and numbered cards and autos, he's going to make good money on this, and he's going to run through this 1,200 cards in like 3 days because of how much he's doing. So I know not all Whatnot streamers are doing volume like that, but if you can find one that does, that's a great connection to have. And like I said in the first tip, you got to get lucky. Well, if you're watching this video, you just got lucky, because reach out to me and I can facilitate a deal if you have stuff like this, especially if you have it organized kind of like I do. Like I said, by player, and you can kind of show what you have. I can definitely connect you with the guy that's buying all my stuff. He buys stuff twice a week. He's looking for big lots, and like I said, he's going to run through all my stuff in a couple days. And so yeah, reach out, let me know.
So I kind of walked you through how I was able to sell. I think we're up to about 8,000 cards now when I include these 2 boxes that I'm going to sell them in 2 days from now. Hopefully this was beneficial for you, maybe a little educational, and maybe will help you move a bunch of cards you didn't think you were ever going to be able to move. If you like the video, just comment below, let me know what you think, and would appreciate it if you'd subscribe. That would be awesome. Doesn't cost you anything, but again, you don't have to. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I will catch you on the next one.